How about that cigar? Again, guys, we are live at Cigars and Baseball 2021 here at CHS Field in St. Paul, Minnesota, and we have none other live in the booth here than Dean Parsons from Epic Cigars. Brother, how's it going?
I'm awesome, man. So great to be here with you guys. And, you know, when I saw you earlier today, you forget I'm traveling so much, and I'm like, shit, the guys are here from How About That Cigar? And I'm like, where are you based? And you're like, here. And I'm like, I know that, but you get so busy. And so thanks for taking some time to have me on and share a few minutes of chat earlier and now. So we're so blessed and so stoked to be here at Cigars and Baseball again. And this is an event we're going to be part of every year. And we love what they're doing. And this event is, I hate to say it, but it's epic. I mean, this is awesome.
So how many times have you been at Cigars and Baseball?
This is only our second time.
Okay.
Obviously, last year, COVID, the year before. And what was amazing about the first year we did it was it literally was pouring rain. It was freezing. And I remember arriving that morning, and I'm like, you know what? I said to Alex, you know, from Nat Seco, Arthur's son, I'm like, man, nobody's showing up to this thing. And you know, we were in, you know, dress shoes and pants and stuff, and it's raining, and I couldn't believe the masses that showed up to get their cigars, and all the brands, and everybody really stood up. We froze our asses off, but the event was amazing, and I'm like, you know what? That's something we're going to get behind because just because of the really, obviously the charity side of it, Cigars and Baseball, but the customers, the consumers that showed up that day and I tell you, I've done 100 other events that if the weather was like that, people are not going to show. And everybody in Minnesota stepped up to support this charity and to support all the cigar brands and everybody else that's part of this. So we appreciate it.
This year has been like lights out perfect. The weather is perfect. This venue, I know this is the first time it's been at this venue. I love it. And we were saying we're going to keep saying it. We're never going to miss another Cigars and Baseball. We have already fallen in love with this event. So
it's another level. It's another level of, especially being here where they are this year.
So we had you, Garrett and I had you on the show last year. I want to say it was in the fall, October, November. So probably about a year ago. But, you know, you guys have really, I think, had a pretty good year. So tell us about how the year has gone for Epic and, you know, what you guys see for what's coming up in the future. You know, what are you pushing for?
Yeah, well, you know, and I always like to kind of share with the customers and consumers and the followers and supporters. You know, 2.5 years ago, Epic became part of, you know, Nat Seco brands and the Xander Gregg Distribution Group, which is based in California. And that's allowing us to really scale our business from a retail standpoint, from an event standpoint, from a marketing standpoint. And so, you know, obviously everyone had some fears, you know, coming into COVID and you know, everyone was kind of down for a little bit, but now, you know, I mean, you look across the board and everybody's numbers are up. I've been traveling personally since October, you know, in Texas and different markets where they were kind of staying a little bit open, cautiously traveling. And things are amazing. Like I couldn't have believed, you know, 2.5 years ago that we'd be where we are today. And we're literally just scratching the surface. I was last week in Baltimore with the Cal Ripken Foundation. We're the annual cigar and partner of his foundation. We had a great golf event with his team and his the Cal Senior Foundation, which is a nonprofit. You know, they raise amazing amount of money, and they, you know, do amazing things in the community with police, with fields, with schools, with communities. So we're stoked to be part of that. Obviously, I'm here this week. I'm in Arizona next week. Then I'm in El Paso the week after. We're launching some new cigars in the Nat Seco. We're launching the new Nat Seco 55, which is the first Nat Seco cigar that's being produced in the Dominican at the what used to be the Charles Fairmorn factory, where all the Epics made, and Christoph cigars. So we're coming with the Nat Seco 55 in November. We're launching the Epic 299, which is a police themed cigar, which celebrates my 10 years in Canada, on the East Coast of Canada, policing. That's going to be shipping in the next couple of weeks. We've got other projects we're working on. The collaboration with AJ has been amazing. You know, the Epic 10, which you had a chance to smoke, and we're almost sold out of that. And it's it's been awesome. So we're literally getting started. And I have to mention we've got this new partnership with Dugout Mugs.
Oh yeah,
and,
absolutely. Let's show that.
So we just had those at the Ripken Foundation event last weekend. We did some for the Hall of Fame guys, and Chris, one of the partners from Dugout, was there with me, and the guys from Stogies and Bogies out of California, they were with us at the Ripken thing last week as well. So it's like overwhelming, man, and a lot of love from our retailers, customers, and supporters. So I'm super pumped. So I'm blessed.
So what brought me to your brand is you. I was telling you earlier, I seen you on a Boveda interview that you did, and you drew me right in. Being law enforcement and that, and moving on to this, it's a great story. So yeah, I want to thank you. That was a great interview too.
Listen, I appreciate it, Gary. It's everyone's kind of got a story, and that's what's great about cigars. And I think what really elevates, doesn't matter if it's Epic, Natsico, Davidoff, it doesn't matter what it is, but people, you want to get your story out there. And I think, I connect to other cigar brands probably more because I've had a chance to spend some intimate time with guys like Carlito, Jose Blanco, who's influenced my brand. And, even James, Brown from Black Label, we met in Germany a few years ago, him and Angela. And so there's lots for everybody in this industry. And, it's a big family, in my opinion. Sometimes people don't think of it that way. I really do. And we're blessed to have our sort of piece of the pie. And we're continuing to grow that and build relationships. And that's really what it's about, the consumer. And we've got a lot of great products. We source tobaccos from the best suppliers in Dominican and Nicaragua. I don't harp on that stuff. We're making great cigars, and we're just sharing our story and our products with people. And we really appreciate the support.
Well, that's one of the cool things we were talking about a little earlier today is how there are some industries where even competitive brands, they still work together. They learn from each other. They share knowledge. They share encouragement. They say, hey, I can help you, get in with this. Let's say you want to get, a few bales from this farm. I know somebody, I can help you get this or whatever. There's even with the competition, there's a camaraderie in this industry that is kind of unmatched in so many other industries. And talk about what that's felt like for you to be able to build those relationships and then have the possibility of now and in the future be able to give back, pay it forward.
Exactly. And I just had some guys come by the booth that were asking about making their own cigar and different private label things, and we've done a lot of that. We work with the Smoke and Shields out of New York. I've worked with the Smoke and Shields Maryland group with Aaron Perkins, John Bellico from New York. We did some great cigars with them. I've done some special stuff, one-of stuff for Germany as well, our distributors in Germany. But it's, a lot of people don't realize, I lived for 9 years in the Dominican Republic. And when you're on the ground living there, you get a chance, on a weekly basis to be in a club or lounge or restaurant with the top people in the world, top cigar makers in the world. And, I've had a chance to build some amazing relationships and people that I go to for advice and influence. And so anything I can do to pay that forward to guys coming into the market and trying to grow their brands. And this is, it's a crazy industry. It's one of those things like, be careful what you wish for, because I'll be honest with you, I've failed more than I've had success in cigars, over the years. And now we're just, like, as I said, we're scratching the surface. Now we're getting momentum moving forward. And that has to do with the hard work I put in, but it also has to do with the, Arthur Barbarian, the owner of Natsico Brands, and Xander Gregg. He saw what I was doing and the challenges, and he believed in me, and, basically made this happen. And that's why Epic's still in the market. I mean, there's so many times over the years Epic was going to be non-existent.
Right.
But I always believed in what I was doing and believed in what I was trying to create. But it's not an easy business,
Yeah, absolutely. And what you said about, that the fact that you've had your failures. And one of the things we all learn is that when we get those things that come into our life where we don't hit the mark we were aiming for, we learn way more than we do from the successes.
100%.
So that's a good thing. Those scars build character, and it also teaches us along the way. Hey, here's what I learned. Here's what I shouldn't have done. Here's what I'm going to do better next time. And we keep moving forward. It's all good.
It's incredible, man, because this business will eat you alive. And I'm so thankful, to still be moving forward and be in a place now where my focus now is not just continuing to build the Epic brand, but also building, our NatSico brands out of Nicaragua. And now we're starting to sort of, I don't know if it's a better term, but we're starting to cross-pollinate. So we're coming with NatSico brands, which NatSico goes back to 65, National Cigar Co. So now we're doing NatSico brands, a Dominican factory there, and we're going to be doing more Epic brands and products releases out of Nicaragua from the Ortiz factory, and with other other great Nicaraguan companies and faces and brands. So yeah, I'm stoked, man. This is awesome.
So great. I love it.
I have a question for you. Who would you like to collaborate with? If there's one company out there or one roller that you really want to work with.
Well, it's crazy because AJ was obviously on that list, and we, obviously the Epic 10, but that was more of that was a blend, really. Even though we collaborated, we did a lot of sample testing. That was had more of an AJ influence because I didn't get the opportunity to go to Nicaragua. It was just pre-COVID, and so we launched that cigar at kind of a funny time, but it's been a huge success. Carlito would be probably number one on my list, Fuente, to do something with him someday. But there's a long list, but I think he'd be at the top. I have a love for the Dominican after 9 years.
Yeah.
But I'm so stoked about, I spent a day a couple of years ago with Noel Rojas, from Nicaragua, but we were in Dallas, and he took me to his warehouse, and we were, tasting all these different tobaccos, and we were rolling over Renegade Cigars, him and I, and I'm like, it was just blowing. It was mind-blowing, right? Because it's just so many different tobaccos from different regions in Nicaragua. So that gets me excited. And Henderson Ventura and I were working on blends just probably 3 years ago, before the acquisition of Epic by Sandra Gregg and NatSico. So William and Henderson Ventura are very good friends of mine. And they're, who knows? There may be something in the future there as well. So they're doing great things. Obviously, for Caldwell and for Matty Booth from 101. So yeah, there's a lot.
Nice. I love it. Well, this is like we've said so many times, we are already in love with this event. It's an event we're going to continue to come back to, and we hope you continue to come back to it as well. We're going to get you back on the big Monday night show for a big, long interview one of these days in the near future, just to continue talking about what you have going on. We talk a lot about positivity. You have that positivity, and we appreciate that. That it's so important in this industry.
Listen, you guys too, and that's probably the thing I love the most is connecting with people, and doing stuff like this. Like I say it to, I've had so many interviews over the years, but you guys are doing this. This isn't a moneymaker for you guys. You're doing this out of your pure passion for cigars and for the enjoyment and sharing your love and passion. So that means a lot to me as well. This is it's people like your company and other companies like yours that are doing the same thing are really helping us elevate our game to another level that otherwise we wouldn't have the opportunity, so we really appreciate it as well. Thank you for what you do and for your positivity as well, guys.
Yeah, it's the best community of people to be involved with. Cigar people are the best people. We keep saying it, we're going to keep saying it. So keep it up, and we'll talk, we'll have you on again soon. Dean, thanks for talking to us for a few minutes.
Matt, it's a pleasure, man. I literally, I walked by the booth this morning, and I'm like, I saw you, and I said hello, but I was like, I walked away, and I'm like, fuck, I hope they have me on. I'd love to come on and hang out with these guys. So it's funny because I don't take anything for granted. And listen, there are a lot of brands in this industry way bigger than Epic and NatSico, but we're finding our place, and we're excited to to do what we do, and we hope that people enjoy what we're putting out there into the industry. So,
absolutely.
thank you.
So for our viewers, guys, again, thank you so much for sticking with us. We have some more interviews coming up today at Cigars and Baseball. It's not over. Great events. So we will be back on with you guys soon. And as always, burn cigars.
Not bridges.
See you guys soon.
Epic moments.